inspiration was from my director of sales. So previously, he had done a cookbook with his previous team, and we were kind of rallying different ideas. And he was like, "Why don't we do a cookbook? We have a highly food and beverage focused restaurant and event space that we really are prideful with, local vendors and specialty cocktails and all of that. So we really wanted to gear that focus with the cookbook. So Embassy Suites Hotel is what we're a part of, but American Beauty Events is our event space. It's all under the same umbrella of the hotel, and it's all in this corporate park. So a lot of times people don't really understand the mesh. So we were really focused with finding a company that, would be user friendly, that would be able to make that whole vibe work. And I mean, that was really the inspo was getting that cookbook food and beverage focused and driven. We're using it for our clients. So it was a new team when we started the year in 2024. Both myself, my director, my catering sales manager, and a couple coordinators. So we really wanted to spread the love of both our social and our corporate clients to let them know that we were here. We were so grateful for, the business that they shared, with the hotel, whether it be a 3-day corporate event or a bat or bar mitzvah, a wedding, a birthday party. We have this beautiful glass house that we featured in the cookbook, in a great picture that we uploaded, and that is really where a lot of magic happens. Just put everybody on an email and said, here's what we're going to do. Please share, your favorite family recipe. We had recipes from the Philippines. We had recipes from the South. We had Italian recipes. We had some easy little like Chex Mix stuff from like easy candy kid stuff. We did a really cool popcorn old fashioned from our Grain and Cane restaurant, which is attached to the property. So all of that was from everywhere, and I chased, and then we just got everything written down. Um, Carly was amazing to help me upload everything and get it all seamlessly spread with photos and flow and font and size, and that was really the inspo. We wanted to have as much of it, as much diversity as possible. That was the goal, something that reminded them of home, something that reminded them of like we did like an Italian stuffing every year in my home, so I thought that was super special. I think I was probably 2 or 3 weeks because you don't want to give them too much time either, right? So you don't want to have them, send the email and then have it get lost and forget about it. And I was definitely hopping around, which I typically do anyway, because that's who I am. But even if it was somebody that wasn't user friendly with sending me a Word document, even if they just wanted me to type it for them, it was a joy. And I loved doing it. So I would say probably 2 to 3 weeks. And then I started like beginning of the week, and then like a Thursday email too as a reminder. And then sometimes people worked weekends because again, it's a hotel, so it never closes. So then maybe sometimes have people have downtime on a Saturday. So reminding them for the weekend to send it off then. We wanted to make sure that both Embassy and American Beauty was highlighted. So we did a QR code on the back cover of the book, so people, could go right to the website. And then I just uploaded logos, and we just put it throughout both spaces and on the front and back of the book, so people understood that it was one location. Again, which is kind of my thing here anyway. So we were adamant to make sure that that was focused, and we did a great cover sheet and did a beautiful picture of the property. Not aerial, but like long ways of the front doors. And then we again enhanced our glass house, which was our main focus. It was very personable and it was very us. I had an idea in my brain of when we wanted to get them out, which was I think we did after Thanksgiving. But it was definitely in that line of, do I send this book out so people can use it for the holiday? And if they wanted to look at it, that was the goal that we had. I remember my boss did his family eggnog, which, I thought was great for him to share first off, but then also having that during that season, was great. So I think the only thing just being mindful of which was fun, I mean, like print and ship, just being mindful of that and like giving yourself time to get, collect, and execute. And then that last, final proofread of making sure that everything is good and then pressing good to go. Don't be overwhelmed. Um, there is a step by step guide, and whether you want to be on a phone call to go over it or you want to meet through Zoom, all of it is not it's not too big of a project. Again, Carly was a wonderful support system to me. I remember we got the next call on the books before, our previous or existing call was happening. It's really just getting your team on board. And honestly, always food is love, in my opinion. That's what I've said for a lot of my life. And everybody has something that they can relate to with that. So making it not as focused of tunnel vision, but expanding and seeing what people come up with is really special. So I would say to yeah, not be overwhelmed with it because there's a guide and there's a process, and you guys really did gear that great for us.